Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailySheeple.com, and this is your news shot. So, massprivateeye.blogspot.com. Great website, check it out. They say Real ID allows police to control fundamental aspects of our lives. Of course, a lot of states have this, like a 3-month extension or something like that to implement Real ID, and if they don't, and you live in a state that doesn't implement these Real ID standards, which are asinine and nothing but a control mechanism, and I'll get into that in a moment, you're going to need a passport to fly within the United States because your ID will not be what they consider valid, a valid form of ID. It's unfreaking believable. We've lived with no IDs. We've lived with the fact that up until 1871, when the United States became a corporation, there was no such thing as a citizen of the United States. They didn't exist. You lived here. You know? Now, all of a sudden, we got to have a federal ID because that, my friends, is what the Real ID is all about. Now, Mass Private Eye says, thanks to Real ID, DHS has created a national ID system right under everyone's noses. I'm going to put the link to this article in the description box, and there you'll see a video of Tennessee spreading the good word that DHS now has the power to suspend and revoke anyone's driver's license or ID card. Think about that. You don't have to have too many speeding tickets anymore. You don't have to have a bad driving record anymore. Now, if you're just labeled a terrorist, or maybe you're on the terrorist watch list, if you will, guess what? DHS can revoke your driver's license. That's unbelievable. A recent article in the Lebanon Democrat reveals how DHS and the Tennessee Department of Safety have suspended more than 250,000 driver's licenses for failure to pay traffic tickets. On October 5th, Judge Alte Trauger ordered the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security to reinstate Fred Robinson and Ashley Sprague's licenses by October 11th or as soon after as possible. According to the complaint, Tennessee suspended more than 250,000 driver's licenses for failure to pay traffic tickets. In most cases, the drivers were too poor to pay. It's the same story in Texas. Back in 2013, the Dallas News warned everyone that the DMV has suspended 1.3 million people's driver's licenses for failure to pay traffic tickets. Remember, traffic tickets and all of these, there's no victim. See, the concept when this country was founded was no victim, no crime. You had to have a victim in order for there to be a crime. You had to have an injured party. A speeding ticket, there's nobody injured. Who did you injure? Whose rights did I violate? Whose property did I damage? No one's. It's totally and completely asinine and against the founding principles that this country was built upon. So, you know what they're going to do? It's taxation by citation. Well, we can't squeeze enough money out of you through taxes. So now we're going to fund the police. We're going to fund the courts through these traffic tickets and citations. Oh, your grass is too long. Ticket. Get the hell out. Your house is purple. Well, I want a purple house. You know? No, you can't have it. Ticket. Crazy. Seat belts. You know, I grew up when there weren't seat belts in the cars at one point in time. And you want to know something? We made it. My parents made it. We all made. I used to play in the back seat of my car with my matchboxes and my Tonka toys and all that kind of stuff. Standing up in the back seat, jumping on the back seat. It was all right. I made it. You know? It's amazing. In New York, you have to have an inspection sticker for your lawnmower. They'll ticket you if you don't have an inspection sticker for your lawnmower. Are you crazy? That's what this is all about. It's about revenue. Well, I got news for you, state and federal governments. You can't squeeze blood from a stone. And we're tapped out. And this is just more ways for them to be able to affect every single aspect of your life. That's really what this is all about. Now, the article also mentions that DHS-run law enforcement can now control people's lives by also suspending and revoking their driver's license. The plaintiffs argued without their licenses, people couldn't access jobs, healthcare, childcare, and other fundamental aspects of their life. Right. So go ahead and suspend their license so they can't work, so they can't get paid. Well, they're really going to pay their freaking tickets that way, right? This is our government. This is what they do. How will Americans pay for fines or get their driver's license back if they aren't even allowed access to the courthouse? You can't get in the courthouse without an ID in some states. You take a person's driver's license or ID, and law enforcement can control a person's ability to stay in a hotel or a motel. Think you'll be able to board a plane or train without showing your driver's license? Nope. Think again. And threatening Americans with these driver's license suspensions because the feds don't approve of their activism is also a distinct possibility. Again, you're a terrorist. You're an enemy of the state. Why? You're not buying into the narrative. You're not spreading the narrative. You're not being quiet. You're not being a good citizen. We're going to take away your ability to be able to make a living, to be able to support your family, right? And that's what they do. This is how they do it. Slowly but surely, they tighten the noose. Imagine, in the not-too-distant future, it says, you and your family are driving down the road when suddenly you find yourself being detained by DHS-run law enforcement. The officer informs you that you've been stopped because the feds don't like your activism, and they'll take away your driver's license if you don't change your anti-government activities. This is a reality of a DHS-run national ID system. Think about it. It's almost akin to brown shirts, right? In World War II, you had the brown shirts that were basically your DHS of today. You don't think that today you're going to get abused just like they did in World War II? It's worse now than it was in World War II. It's worse. But it's amazing how the cognitive dissonance sets in. Everybody rants and raves about freedom and democracy. I ask you, does this sound like freedom and democracy to you? I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.